And Finance Minister Malikane is living up to his promise of expediting transformation. The commitment is visible in his choice of the new economic advisor. An economics professor from the University of Witwatersrand, Professor Malikane, has been chosen to further the government's transformation agenda. COSATU's nomination to the National Development Plan panel, Malikane is known to favor state interventionist policies.
You would recall that earlier in 2009-2010, the debate about nationalization took place. And those who advocated for nationalization, I was part of them, we could not win that debate. So although we had facts, and in my view, I don't think the manner in which that debate was handled towards the end, it was fair. We won the debate, but because of the powers that be then, we could not get the ANC to actually action.
You are determined to bring it via the back door now?
No. I'm just saying that it's almost 7 years since we've not nationalized. And the crisis in the country, economic crisis in the country is deepening. And it is high time that perhaps people must revisit that debate and begin to genuinely engage with it and not just dismiss it as populist.
Here are some of the radical ideas proposed by the new economic advisor: expropriation of white monopoly capitalist establishments like banks, insurance companies and mines, the nationalization of the Reserve Bank, establishment of a state bank to consolidate all state-owned financial institutions, expropriation of land becoming state-owned without compensation, to encourage tender-based capitalists' war against the dominant white monopoly capitalist class, new national economic plan to benefit black South Africans, particularly the working class, a wide-ranging audit of employment equity and labour law compliance with harsh penalties for defaulters.
The more I actually follow the events and the response, the more I'm increasingly becoming convinced now, not that I wasn't convinced, that possibly the message of radical economic transformation is the right one. From an AFCOC's point of view, we believe that the minister is actually signaling the right kind of policy direction.
Those who control the economy also control the thinking, and if there is a threat to that thinking, they are going to be unhappy. So that is one of the things that we must address. And also, policy in this government is not made by one person. There are a number of institutions that come into play and organization. We also even have policy through government legislation. So this notion, obsession with him, it's another diversion.
Every single business in this country requires the bank to be behind it in terms of working capital, which is pre-production, pre-delivery finance. And that is what is lacking. Until the banks come to the fore, and for as long as they remain reluctant, it therefore means that we need to look at how we take control of the key levers of the economy in terms of state intervention. Right. And the banks are part and parcel of that. The banks some of them need to be state-owned so that then we can be able to support that policy of radical socio-economic transformation. Without the banks, everything else fails.
But the very fact that Malikane is an unorthodox economist who is not shy of expressing his pro-transformation views seems to have rattled certain sections of society. And first off the block in showing concern over the appointment is Democratic Alliance. DA Shadow Minister of Finance David Mania says Professor Malikane has been appointed because he is an unorthodox economist. DA says Malikane will be used as a ministerial battering ram in coming battles with orthodox economists at the National Treasury. Mania says Malikane's appointment will reinforce rating agencies' perception of major shifts in economic policy. They allege that the move will shake investor confidence and contribute to a ratings downgrade of South Africa.